Do you want a quick sort of 1 or 2 words of what sort of business it was as well? Mhm.
Yes, yeah. Quick 1 or 2 sentences, maybe even just like 1 sentence. Doesn't have to be a ton. Just, something would be, because I think it'll be lots of fun. I am liking this. But
I don't know if Netto is just a thing up here. Did you guys have a Netto?
we do not.
Yeah, I think it's mostly a northern thing. Like I've heard
okay.
Netto, but I haven't.
It's a
don't
fucking.
see them much around
It's
here.
a dead company now. I don't think there's a Netto left. It's like going way back to when I was a kid there.
Yeah. All right, I'm digging this. This is the Soundscapes of Chernobyl from Game Dev Market. Oh, perfect! There's a whole soundscape called Dystopian Hellfire.
Okay, that sounds cool. I'm getting anxiety flashbacks. Do you guys want to listen to this track? It's called Anxiety.
Guys, come on. I think they've got such this dystopian hellfires has such classics like Night Terrors, Shadow Creeper,
We are the dystopian hellscapes, and this is Night Terrors.
Hell Machine. I'm gonna have to check these out later. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to eventually use Hell Machine. And somehow I must find a way.
I believe in you.
To find a way to use Hell Machine?
I don't think I should, but I do.
Alright.
Spiced chicken monster. I don't know why, it's so accurate. It's an accurate description of Nando's. It's so silly.
Isn't it like Portuguese or something?
Yeah.
I've got no fucking idea. Just no spicy chicken. I love the mango spices that they've got, dude. It's so good. I haven't had Nando's in fucking years.
Me neither, but now I really want Nando's.
Right?
Extra hot.
Good old Nando's. See, I don't like super hot when you order the chicken. Like, I'll get like a medium or something, but then having a variation of sauces to dip the chicken and chips in is just...
Oh no, on the chips you've got to literally every single one.
Yeah.
Every single one, have a bit of a combination. And, you know.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Nope, not at all.
What are you...
You know, my
I put, if there's one thing that can survive the apocalypse, is the overwhelming smell of Lush stores. It's just like a like sort of bath bombs and things like that, but you walk in and you were just immediately assaulted in the nose.
Not just bath
smell it
bombs.
from a mile away.
Not just bath bombs. They're shaped in like realistic shapes, like cupcakes and
Yeah.
shit like that. My youngest brother, a few years ago, he went in there with his girlfriend, and he was like, "Oh look, they've got samples," and he fucking bit into one of the cupcake ones. And it's like, what the fuck, you idiot!
He bit into one of the cupcake what?
Bath bombs.
I mean, did it look like a cupcake?
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
All right, so I changed it from Roadrunner's End to Roadrunner's Run, which I think is kind of fun.
Okay, that's less doom sounding.
I know. Unfortunately, it's less doom sounding. I know.
Wow, just have some optimism, my guy.
No, I mean, I want it to give you an impending sense of doom and anxiety, and I'm sad that it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to convey.
Why would you want that? I perpetually have an overwhelming sense of doom and anxiety. You don't need to add to it.
But what if I wanna?
Okay, yeah, you got a point.
Oh, I've got a point. That's no fighting back.
No.
Just.
I know when to quit.
My gosh.
I don't know,
I know you might not have this in America, but we have farms.
We have what?
Farms. Check out that thread.
I don't know if you know about that. It's a bit of land with sheep and cows and chickens.
Oh, it's just a farm. Okay, gotcha.
Hey, sometimes it doesn't have animals at all. Sometimes it just has, you know, corn.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't have corn. Wheat. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
Did you know that British cows sit down when it's going to rain and stand up when it's not?
Really?
I recently found out that's only exclusive to British cows, though.
No.
Oh, really?
Because Danish cows will face the way that the wind is blowing, which I think is useless because you can just tell. There was a whole James Acaster bit where it was like you can imagine
I didn't know that was only British cows.
Yeah, but you can imagine like a foreign exchange thing where you just get all the British cows to stand behind the one Danish cow, and they would never know if it's going to rain or not. Turn around.
Dang it! I just realized.
Bound by the laws of the wind.
Bound by the laws of the wind. Awesome. Okay, I think we're good to go, guys. We're all. I'm all situated on my end. I haven't even gotten to the list of stuff that I asked you to do for me real quick, and I'm kind of excited to read it. Except for the farms one. That just seems kind of catty.
I can't think. What are other British things and stuff?
I don't know. Like, the UK seems to be going very American.
Got you. So it seems like okay. That we need to talk out loud. The contemptuous sound you made. I have ears like a bat. Oh my gosh. So the other day I lost my ability to use my Bluetooth, and I fixed it today in the jankiest way possible. I found out that my USB-C has somehow become disconnected from my computer, like the actual port. And so what I did was I put two of my guitar picks on the back of one to give it enough pressure to make contact with the motherboard, and that has somehow fixed my Bluetooth. So there you go. Just there we go, just for everybody. All right, well, I suppose we should go ahead and get started with playing our game. What? What did she do? Is she being a brat?
Yeah.
Of course she
No,
is.
that's the British terms for it. What do you mean?
Whatever. You're being a brat.
Yeah, but he'd probably read it and be like, garage.
That's how you say the word garage.
What, garage? Yeah.
Yeah, it's courage.
I
Your face right now.
just,
Haven't you missed this?
I
He just stared and blinked.
like that
Guys,
one.
I think we should like ditch the TTRPGs and just start a podcast where we roast.
Right?
Of just teasing prankster. That's the podcast.
We could take it turns and
Ooh,
get roasted.
somebody followed. I didn't catch that though. Thank you for following Coloring Book Dog. Appreciate it. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So today we are starting a new adventure called Glow in the Dark. It is a TTRPG based on John Harper's wonderful TTRPG called Blades in the Dark. And Blades in the Dark is a pretty simple system. It's a lot of fun to play. And we are going to go ahead and give this hack a try. Just to see how kind of fun it is. You know, just all of us come together, just playing some games, having some fun. You know.
Woo.
That's not what I wanted. But let's go ahead and continue to... There we go. The roads. So, Glow in the Dark is set in a post-apocalyptic future. Set in a future where it's kind of part Mad Max. It's also part mutants. Kind of part a bunch of different post-apocalyptic ideas and mashups. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun for us to hang out and play in. I've been wanting to do a post-apocalyptic one for a while, and when I saw that this hack was available, I already knew the Blades in the Dark rule set, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to play. So, before I'm going to let our players introduce themselves. Don't introduce your characters yet. You'll know when I'm giving you that opportunity later on when we kind of jump into the story here. But before we do that, I would like for you to introduce yourselves. So why don't we go ahead and start in order of Roll20. I'll go start where it is on the bottom. I'm the prankster, and welcome. I'm the GM, your friendly neighborhood GM. And why don't we go on from there? Just so you can get an idea for whose voice is whose. By the way, I'm the only male, so you should be able to hopefully hear my voice. It'll be pretty distinctive. Go ahead.
Oh, now I've got to do my best prankster impression to try and make it not distinctive. But my throat hurts too much, so I'm not going to do that. Hi, I'm Outlaw. Don't really know what else to say about myself.
Why don't you tell us your favorite, what is your favorite post-apocalyptic show or movie?
Oh, I didn't come prepared for this.
I know, I just threw this on you at the very last
Have I even
second.
watched any? Like, what? Oh.
You've never watched
Yeah,
it?
but putting you on the spot like that, it's like trying to think. Ooh, what scene that I really liked?
Like, I'm trying to think, what have I even seen?
Quick,
Okay.
let's go through
Watching
Netflix.
Post-apocalyptic. Yeah, shit, yeah.
Scour through Netflix.
Google post-apocalyptic movies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it turns out I don't watch many.
Okay. Well.
I mean, Bird Box is pretty cool. Does that count?
Yeah,
Google
Bird
thinks it
Box. Yeah, Bird Box counts. So if you like that, yeah, that's fair.
Sick. I don't remember how much I liked it, but it was pretty cool.
All right, so Bird
I
Box
don't think I've seen it.
is your answer. You've never
Was it-
seen
Does Independence Day count as well? Because that was a good one.
Independence
But,
Day
like,
is a
the
good
old
one.
one.
Is that post-apocalyptic though, or is
No,
that, like
that's-
mid-apocalyptic?
Well, we'll call that mid-apocalyptic. Mid-apocalyptic. All right. Let's continue on. Aya, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ayanna, and you might remember me from games such as Atlas, or more recently, fantastic TTRPG Delta Green, right here on Prankster's channel. Hey!
Yeah, it's true. She had her brain sucked out. It was lots of fun.
I did. I'm dead now.
Nico came down and
Her
just
brain's taken a travel throughout space and time.
It is. It is soaring throughout space. And last but not least,
Hi, I'm not Irish. And my favorite movie series right now is gotta be The Last of Us.
yep, that's post-apocalyptic, so that's super
I
fun.
haven't been watching
So
that. I don't think I've got
good.
like whatever I need to watch it.
So I just stream it online because I don't have any other channels.
Yeah.
But once before that is like Resident Evil. Those are pretty good. Walking Dead.
Resident Evil is absolutely post-apocalyptic. That definitely counts. All right, well, cool.
I want to change my answer. My favorite post-apocalyptic movie is Shaun of the Dead.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, we literally
I was
talked
gonna
about that
say,
earlier.
28 days later? Was that
Yep.
the Sandra Bullock one or the post-apocalypse?
That's 28 days. It's the
That's
second
a
Okay,
zombie
yeah.
flick.
I
Yeah.
always get those two mixed up.
I'm gonna have to go with Mad Max Fury Road. It was a fantastic film, and the guy with the
I've seen
guitar,
it.
Watch Mad Max.
the guy playing the electric guitar while attached to the thing on bungee cords with fire shooting out of the guitar is amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And if that
Sounds
if that doesn't ring a bell, now you need to go watch it. That's your homework, Outlaw. You have to go watch Mad Max Fury Road.
Is it on Netflix? Let's have a look.
Yeah. I don't know if it's on Netflix. Hopefully it is. That would be fun if it was.
I mean, could be. Could be
Um,
on UK Netflix.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and start. Fair enough, y'all? Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Screen opens. God dang it, Outlaw!
I was gonna say I might disappear at some point for a couple of minutes, but I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. The camera opens up to a barren landscape. Harsh, hot, with desert that seems to stretch forever. You can see the remnants of pieces of civilization from the past, whether they be collapsing roads or highways, maybe homes in the suburbs that have since had walls broken into or down. Some are still all right. Windows broken out. This is not just happened. It appears that it's been like this for some time. As the camera's kind of like moving around, just gazing at the landscape, you can see the husks of skyscrapers and buildings in the distance. Giant valleys that are cavernous. And every now and then, but rarely, animals that poke their heads up from the sand, only to poke back down in. I imagine for a brief moment, the camera kind of zooms in. It looks like just your normal average coyote, only to turn towards the screen to see that it has 4 eyes with some type of green goo that is just oozing from its mouth. All of a sudden, cars zoom by, kicking up sand and dirt, and you could hear the roar of the engines roaring past the camera, roaring past this particular scene. Spikes on kind of like the hubcaps of their tires, right? These particular ones are yelling and hooting and hollering as they go one direction. Another direction, riding what appears to be mutated animals of sorts, seem to be weighed down with types of sacks and backpacks and all types of gear, just crates that they are pulling away. They're in quite a hurry. We can hear shots being fired in the distance. It's coming from an abandoned highway. The camera kind of zooms forward over this kind of group of mutated creatures with people on horseback walking away, running away. You can see sand being kicked up. A few are left behind fighting underneath this highway We see somebody who's fighting with some of these people very clearly on the front line. Violence is definitely happening. Aya, describe to us who we see and what they are doing as they are engaged in this combat.
Okay, you see Vi. She's kind of short, stocky, covered in scars. The first thing you notice about her is she's got a very determined look on her face, but she's just got this mess of bright red dreadlocks on top of her head, and then her undercut. She looks kind of mean. She's somebody you don't want to mess with.
Awesome. So I imagine Vi, does she have like a favorite weapon or maybe something that accompanies her like that?
She likes using her fists and stuff, but she does have knuckle dusters that she's not afraid to get dirty.
Awesome. All right, so you see Vi like rock back and just like, and I imagine the camera's like right on this raider's face as her fist connects with it, and you can see like the jaw like moving and maybe like a couple of teeth getting popped out, and like the look of anger and consternation on her face and fury. Camera like pauses and goes slow-mo as we can like see like the drool coming out until like the speed picks back up again as the fight continues. And camera like sees a bunch of these people, continuing like fighting underneath this highway. Some of them appear to be just like regular old folks. And in the midst of it, we see another person. Outlaw, go ahead and describe to us, who do we see and what are they doing in the midst of this fight?
You see Ash. She's a short, very, very short little lass. A couple of like knives strapped to her belt. She's very small looking, but it's kind of deceiving in that she can hold her own.
Sure.
She has a like a small firearm in one hand while she is rooting through the body of someone who's fallen next to her and just shooting shots at someone coming towards her.
Yeah, so we can see her crouching down, like rooting as much as we can. I imagine like a couple of raiders like rushing up on you, and you like raise your gun at the last second, pow pow, like right in the middle of their heads. They fall to the ground, and blood oozing out of their heads. And I imagine kind of. Go ahead.
Steampunk vibes written here, so probably like goggles, random, I don't know, laced up corset, the whole 9 yards.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Kick ass. So yeah, I imagine as the shot comes out, like camera zooms in on your face as you focus, like follows the bullet right through their heads and out of their heads, like through the hole. The camera's like following the bullet, kind of like curls around, and in the middle of the frenzy, we see a final person who seems to be distinct from the rest. Irish, why don't you describe to us who they are, what do we see, and what they're doing?
Alright, you see Bam, who is a very small little dude. I can imagine him probably crouched behind a car. He's got like a homemade patchwork overall, combat boot, trench coat filled with like lined pockets on the inside. And I can just imagine him maybe messing with like a homemade bomb or something, getting ready to throw it.
Okay, cool. All right, so we see this person in kind of like patchwork overalls, like has been described to us, and kind of like tinkering, and I imagine goggles up. Maybe like you pull them down for a moment as you like kind of like complete this mechanism, as there is a bunch of people, like raiders, that are seeming to be like kind of like trying to like fight off, and you meanwhile like sneak behind, like I imagine like put this bomb like on one of these like mutated creatures that are all clumped up together, duck out of sight, and then I imagine these raiders are like grrr, go, go, go. They like get on this, like 5 or 6 of them and begin getting away. And as they're like just kind of like crossing this path, camera slows down and we see Bam behind maybe like a makeshift barricade as a small smile creeps up on her face. Or his face, I'm sorry.
His, I think.
His. On his face as he like pushes this red button and then a small explosion happens in the midst of all of these creatures with gore and viscera just going everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty badass scene. So as that is going on, it seems like these people are getting away from your party. Sorry. And as they kind of like just cross the horizon, maybe you see like Vi has one on the ground, and even though they're knocked unconscious, she's like still punching him, like blood coming up. And it seems, at least for the time being, that the battle is over, that whatever has happened here has since finished. You can hear the high winds kick up again from the sounds of the desert. Maybe it's just this awkward quiet from everything. The battle is over. Now you know for a certain that this people who have who rushed your party are people whom you have encountered once before. Not even once before. They are known as the Apostles of Rex. People who worship a giant lizard creature. One that's only kind of like rumored about in stories of old. Nobody's not even entirely certain if it's true. But they sure believe it is. They have just raided your settlement, taken off several of your people. Right now, your group, your people are not in good shape. You would go perhaps to your stockpiles to kind of like check after the battle, only to find out that most of it's gone. You have enough provisions for you and the maybe dozen or so other people at your small settlement underneath this highway for about another week. From here on forward, it's up to you guys to decide how you would like to proceed. But things are dire, and you know there is an immediate need for supplies for your people. You can look around, try and reach out to other tribes, try and talk to other tribes, try and talk to some of the connections that you already have. But you know that it is not a ton of time your people have left. So, without that said, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. The stage is set. The scene is here. You have connections that we have rolled for. You have allies. You have some enemies. Should you want to make new allies, new friends, that's absolutely something that you can do. So why don't we go ahead and take it up with a role play right after the immediate part of the battle. It's clearing. The three of you are meeting up. You're just maybe with inside kind of like the fenced-in area of your small settlement. You're the highway that blocks you from the rough sun above. What do we see? What's going on? What are you guys talking about? Take it away.
Man, it really seems like we need some supplies. Damn. I'm gonna leave you guys to think about that while I just, I'll be right back.
Awesome. Thanks.
I don't know, I just really looting people, whatever.
I couldn't hear her. She got kind of garbled.
Okay, that wasn't just me then. I thought my internet was gone. I feel like Vam wouldn't stand around and talk. but rather walk off towards the workshop and start working on stuff to be able to help to either raid or I don't know, just working on little homemade bombs and stuff like that to be able to do some damage.
All right. Yeah. So we could see Bam in the workshop, a look of focus on his face, just tinkering away. Cool. What is Vi doing? What is she thinking about?
Vi's kind of pulled out a very worn map. I don't know how old it is, whether the information is particularly current, but she's like, you know, scribbled bits on it and added.
Oh shoot! I heard added, and then you kind of got cut off.
Is Disco
I know our
fucking up?
internet. I think it's our internet.
No, because I didn't hear any of you guys for like 30 seconds there.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I just heard that
That's
type
what
of
I heard.
thing.
Cool for
That's
you guys.
exactly what I said. Yeah.
It seems pretty solid now, though. So
Yeah.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
let's try again.
Let's try again.
Yeah. No, Vi's pulled out a map. It's old, extremely worn, sort of taped together in places, and she's like made notes on it, and drawn little pictures and of where things are. And she's trying to figure out where we can go and get some supplies, or at least where we can go and look where we haven't been, where we haven't already looted. And
Sure.
also, do we know where the Apostles of Rex are?
That is a very good question, because that is an option, is for you guys to just strike back and try and get back some of your supplies. Do you know where the Apostles of Rex are? Yes. I think that the frustration and anger and the kind of enmity between your two tribes is at a bit of a boiling point. Perhaps like maybe you guys have even like hit them back, although maybe it's not to steal or raid, or maybe it is. I don't know. It's entirely up to you guys. But it's more just some of it was just like revenge.
Yeah, she's kind of thinking like, we can't let them get away with this, but I don't know if we're prepared to go and hit them on the home turf yet.
So, if you will look towards the top left corner, I think we're on the same page. Maybe we're not. Yes, we are. Awesome. If you look towards the top left corner of your Roll20, you'll see the wasteland map that I have there. Yeah. Those are all of the various locations that you can go to. The boxes, the boneyard, the roads. You guys are currently in the roads, which pretty much connects to everything. A brief idea is that the boxes are kind of like suburban houses. The boneyard is essentially like a city that has like the husk of a city that's left. The barrens is just we've talked about, it's like a mutated hellscape with like mutated plants and stuff. The maze is almost like a canyon that is ever shifting and constantly changing, and the dunes are what appears to be like places of old that have since been hidden beneath the sands. There's always, it seems to be, places that maybe haven't been totally picked over, but you also know that the danger level can be different in some of these things, as well as the different things and trouble that you can get into.
Luckily, Trouble's my middle name, maybe.
So, as you're looking at your map, Vi, you are... there's an older man from your community. What did you call yourselves? The Roadrunners, right?
Yeah.
So the Roadrunners, this older gentleman kind of comes up and he says, I'm glad that that's over. You know, I've heard. He kind of leans in conspiratorially, and you maybe see even kind of like a crazy ass look in his eye. I know we're in desperate times right now, and the Barrens don't make for the best place, but I've heard said that there's a farming out there. Farming that we might even be able to take over, to utilize.
You show me, and Vi's gonna hold out the map.
Yeah, and he will kind of like strokes his chin for a moment, like really thinking about it. And he points kind of to kind of like this way eastern area in the Barrens, right there.
Vi makes a little mark on a map.
All right, Vi makes a little mark on her mat. Oh, perfect. Thank you. That's perfect. Now you guys, Bam, you said that you're kind of like in the area, just kind of like making stuff, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you try to describe to me what you're trying to make and give me a roll that you want. Now, I want one more thing before I forget. The action rolls that we have on the right side, you guys, it is entirely up to you to decide what you want to try and roll. And I'm going to do my best to step back and not say, why don't you roll me a blank? Because some of these are intended to be fairly broad for you to be able to utilize in different ways on purpose. So, my apologies for cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was gonna ask if it would be possible to make some like nail bombs or something like that.
Yeah, like pipe bombs. Yeah, I think that's possible. Sure. Go ahead and what do you want to roll for that?
I have no idea. I can't remember what any of them do.
So that's fair. So if you actually go to the page that we're playing on, if you scroll all the way to the right, that gives you an idea about what some of those do. Do you see it?
Yeah.
So one small issue that we're going to have to this is going to be different than our normal Roll20 is instead of like clicking on a button in your character sheet, what you're actually going to need to do is just pick up those die and roll them from the roller on the left hand of the screen.
Yeah. I guess hack.
Sounds good to me. Go ahead and roll your 2d6. All right, so that is a success, but with consequences.
Oh, okay.
By the way, so how the die mechanics work is you will roll the die, and a 1 through 3 is always a failure. A 4 and a 5 is always a success with consequences, and a 6 is a just pure success, no consequences. Should you ever get like double sixes, that's considered a critical success. Whatever you roll out of those, the highest number is your roll. So you just got double 4s, so just 4.
Right, okay.
I really thought Prankster was going to say if you roll double sixes, that's cheating.
And no cheating. So yeah, that is a success, but with consequences. So how this looks is, I imagine, bam, you're in your workshop and you're working on this, and you realize that you are able to get this like pipe thing. However, the issue at hand is that it has like you have no timing mechanism.
Right.
Like when it goes off, which is pretty awful for a pipe bomb because you can't exactly be holding it.
Yeah.
So, but doesn't mean you can't find another way to use it.
Okay, so where do I put that anyway?
If you'd like to just put it in your notes, that's fine. There might be like a notes area, or yeah, at the very bottom of your sheets. All right, Ash. You can see Vi over there talking to an old man with this map. One of the members of your tribe. A couple of your tribe members are kind of walking about, collecting resources off the dead. Waste not, want not. After all, you got to use what you got to use. That's just kind of the world that you live in. What are you doing? What are you thinking during all of this? And what would you like to try and do? You know that you're in a bad spot with supplies.
Okay. I would like to take a look through, kind of like what's left of all the people we've just killed, and see if there's any sort of marks on their maps of places that we're gonna hit and things like that. So I want to scrounge.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, go ahead and roll me a scrounge.
I have a dot in that. Does that mean I roll 2?
If you have 1 dot, it means you roll 1 die.
Okay.
Now, just as an option, whenever you roll, you can always try to take on stress to get an additional die to your roll, or you can choose to take a devil's bargain from your friendly neighborhood prankster.
You know, I feel like I need to be more desperate before I do that. Let's just roll. Shit.
1. So
I rolled
yeah.
a 1 and I accidentally closed roll 20.
Is that like you rage quit?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get this map that you pull out, and it says, like, it clearly says like our hideout, and you're like, fuck it, I've hit the jackpot, and then you realize it's just coded. The rest bottom down is coded in their blood, and you can't make heads or tails of it.
Just my luck. Well, I guess that's that.
All right. So at this point in time, you guys need to decide how you want to proceed. Do you want to strike back at the Apostles of Rex? Do you want to maybe take this old man's suggestion and see if you might be able to brave the Barrens, looking for some type of resources that you might be able to use? Do you want to go and explore any of these other locations in hopes of just kind of like running across something? I imagine all of you, the 3 of you, are kind of the de facto leaders of your group, the Roadrunners. And you're all kind of like sitting maybe in Bam's workshop as he's continually tinkering on something. I imagine that's kind of what's going on. So you guys are sitting there, discuss amongst one another how you want to proceed, where you want to go from here.
Well, things are looking pretty fucking shit. Has anyone got any ideas?
Well, we've got this lead in the Barrens, but I mean, we could go check out the boxes. There may be some houses left unlooted.
What was the boxes situation? I think I was gone for that.
Like abandoned houses and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The picked-over skeleton of suburbia stretches far and wide around the boneyard. Rows of crumbling homes offer little shelter. Ramshackle big box fortress malls built by the first tribes lie in ruins, built, burned, and rebuilt over and over again. Dormant booby traps and resting machines wait for careless newcomers. Nests of mutants make new homes in old houses. You know in the boxes is Prism City, an underground mall built at the terminus from the old Boneyard metro lines. Abandoned even before the last war, it's found new life as a popular trading post for caravans.
Oh, man, so it's like Mutant City or Barren Wasteland.
The Barrens, by the way, are inhabited by mutant plants.
Cool. So it's like mutant city or mutant plant city. Cool.
Yep.
I mean, some farmland sounds pretty good to go pick over. I mean, what, you think we can't take a few little farmers?
I mean, yeah, it's worth checking it out.
I'm assuming this old guy hasn't got his stories mixed up.
Well, who knows?
Bam kind
He's
of
old.
pulls up his goggles on top of his head and like rests his hand, like his chin on his hand, and he's just nodding.
What you thinking?
I feel like if we hit the farms, get some supplies, get built back up, we can go after the Rex people.
I mean, what better supplies are there than food?
Yeah. Food's pretty good.
As Ash says that, she like throws some like, I don't know, whatever crappy food they're eating, but just shoves some in her mouth just to prove her point.
Yeah, I imagine it's just like an old can of that's like long been expired of refried beans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, what about the food, man?
You're
right.
not wrong.
So at this particular time, you guys, we're going to go ahead and roll for your encounter. So here's how this works. We kind of set the stage, as it were, for where everything starts in an encounter with your encounter roll. So you know you're going to the wastelands. Or not the wastelands. You know you're in the wasteland. You know that you're going rather to the Barrens, and you know it's incredibly dangerous with the mutant plants and the like. So the question,
Danger schmanger.
So the question you guys need to ask yourself now is, all right. So how are we starting from here? Are you taking a daring approach? Are you just going to like drive in? And are you like, how is your approach? Are you just driving in? Are you sneaking in? Are you going to try and talk to some people to help you get into this area? Are you going to use this guy as a guide? This is where everything is all up to you guys. Does the plans detail? Is there like some type of a vulnerability that this area might have? That comes into, are you using any of your friends or contacts to help you out? Are there any other types of like elements that I might consider? So we're just talking about kind of your approach for right now. So you guys have decided you're going to the Barrens. Take a moment to kind of like talk through the plan. I don't want huge details. We don't need to go through we don't need lots of details. I just want kind of like big, bold strokes. You know, are you taking a car in? Are you running in guns a-blazing? Are you sneaking, right? What are you doing to protect yourselves, right? Are you utilizing any friends? Are you going to utilize any of your tribe? So big details. Let's talk about them.
Knowing Ash, you probably reach out to like some contacts and see if anyone knows of any sort of like good points of entry, vulnerabilities, how inhabited it is, and that could they just drive in or go in guns a-blazing, or do we have to be smart about it?
Okay, cool. So that sounds like something that we can actually role play a little bit. You call up one of your contacts. Let's give him a name. It's a crazy old woman who kind of like sits at the end of the Barrens, and her name is Scroozy. She's got like one milky white eye that's kind of like always floating around in her skull. The other one is like fixed on people. And her hair is just like a crazy tangled, like just like poof, just kind of like poofing out from her head. She wears rags. She's got a hook nose, and she lives on a shack just on the cusp of the Barrens, but not in the Barrens. I imagine you are there. You knock on her door.
Yes, who is it?
It's me.
Door flies open, and you can see that she is ugly as hell. And nonetheless, before you could even do anything, she like grabs your face and like kisses both of your cheeks. Right, and then she like takes her nose and rubs it against yours, and you can almost feel like a slime on it. It's clear that she hasn't bathed in a really long time. I mean, few people have, but still. Welcome, come in, come in, come in. And her eyes kind of floating around in her skull.
How can I help you?
Well, you're a smart lady.
I am.
By the way. Those rags are doing it for you.
You know what? I have been using a new. I've been finding that if you take the blood of rats and just get it all up in there, it really makes your hair shine.
No way, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. See, I find just human blood. It gets in my hair quite a lot, and look, feel how soft this is. Feel it.
Oh god, it's so soft.
Right. Anyway, me and the folks back home, we ain't doing too good. We're looking for some food. You know, people like get real hungry. We have a lead in the Barrens. So you're a smart lass. I was wondering if you knew anything about the area.
Do I know anything
I'll make
about
it
it?
worth your while, and I'll just like be flicking some shiny trinkets around in my hand.
She kind of looks, and you can see that like her eyes following it. And she's like,
Well,
So what are you going to roll to try and kind of talk with this lady?
I am going to roll sway.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me sway.
Bam.
Success, but with consequences, with a 4.
well. I think I definitely have some for you. However, if I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna ask for a little bit of the supplies you might find.
What are we talking here?
We're talking at least 20%.
10.
Oh, my old age, I think I'm forgetting things. I don't know if I have the knowledge I used to about this place.
12%.
Some memories are coming back, but I'm not entirely certain. I think 18% would be great.
I mean, when you think about it, what's the difference between 18 and, like, I don't know, say 12?
You know what? I think we might be able to deal for 15.
You do drive a hard bargain, but yeah, that's a deal.
So she then goes ahead and kind of details a way into the Barrens that seems a little bit less dangerous than you're used to. All right, so that'll give you that'll help you on your engagement roll. What about the rest of you two guys? You know that you maybe have like a means of entry. What are other things that you're looking at?
Have we been there before or no?
You know that very few people go to the Barrens. The flora there is mutated and carnivorous. Few people that go in are able to come back.
Okay. Cool.
Only the desperate or insane seek shelter there.
that's good because we're not seeking shelter there.
Just passing through.
Just passing through. If you guys don't have anything, that's fine. We can go right to the engagement roll, and we can go right from there.
I'm gonna get hold of the old man
Who told you about it?
and ask him like details of where exactly he knows the spot is.
Okay, so some clarity about where it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So let's talk about your approach. We have some information. Are you guys assaulting, deceiving? Are you taking a stealth approach? Are you kind of, trying to... I know that you've got this connection with this woman. Are you essentially trying to talk to people and ask them to help you guys out? Maybe escort you? Or are you also using the vehicle that you have, the jalopy that you have, Irish?
Has the old man been there before? Is that where he heard it? I can't remember where you said he heard it from.
He said that he heard a rumor. There's nothing definitive about how he heard the rumor.
The workshop that we have at our tribe, does that help with repairing the vehicles and stuff? I can't remember what that does.
Yes, it does. I believe.
Okay, that's cool.
It lets you do it essentially for free in between sessions.
Yeah.
I believe.
Okay.
I've got no idea then, because my idea was to ask him how to get there and what kind of dangers we're gonna face. But it was just a rumor. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you that. There's giant plants that'll eat you.
How big are the plants?
Oh, they range anywhere from the size of a small mouse to a giant building.
Is there anything they don't eat?
Metal. I don't think they eat metal because they can't digest metal.
Okay, so color's a good idea.
As far as Bite's concerned, she just get in, get out, straight on drive in there and get the job done.
Gotcha. Don't dawdle.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that the plan, to take the vehicle in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So one of you is going to have to roll the engagement roll, but here it is. You guys get 1 dice just for sheer luck. Okay? You start off with 1 dice. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Yeah, you're going into the barrens where there's a giant bunch of plants that can eat you. Does this plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target? Yeah, plants don't eat metal. So that brings you up to 3. And you have an entrance in, so that's 4. Now, are there other elements that I want to consider that would give you a negative die? Yes, I can think of at least 1. So I'm going to have you guys roll. One of you is going to roll the engagement die. That'll be 3 die, and we'll take the highest of all 3. Who wants to roll it?
Aya hasn't rolled yet. She should do it.
Yeah.
All right, Aya.
6.
Wow, that's a lot of
6.
pressure. I lost my head, or I lost my brain, remember. Am I the best person to roll this?
It's okay. We'll take turns, okay?
Okay.
You roll this one.
It was 3, yeah.
You roll 3d6. 6.
Point for the next one.
All right.
yeah.
Heck yeah. So best possible result, essentially. You guys enter into this place in a strong position, a controlled position, not a risky or desperate, a controlled. So we'll switch kind of to this. Give me a second here. Oops. Boom. Salad. All right. You can see you guys kind of like looking around a table. And then all of a sudden the screen fades into a new scene. You are in Bam's Jalopy, racing across the post-apocalyptic wasteland, the three of you, dirt and sand kicking up at the heels of the back of the car. I imagine you make your way into the Barrens, and from what Scroozy has told you, there is a small entrance that few people refer to, kind of on the southern end of the Barrens, where a lot of people don't look. Sure enough, her word is 100% true. Thank God you got that information from her, because everything else looks like a tangled mess of vines, moss, and thorns. I imagine like there's a power slide with more sand like kicking up as the sun kind of like glints off the car, and you hit it right into this entrance. Bump, like kind of like the car, you can like feel the shocks as it going. Bam, I'm assuming you're driving, correct?
I guess so.
I mean, it's your car, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Where are the two of you in the vehicle? Just so I can have an idea. Back seat, front seat.
I don't want to make the decision for vibe. I feel like Ash is a back seat, stretching her legs out the entire back seat kind of lady.
I was going to say Vi's in the front seat, definitely.
Heck yeah.
Okay, Vi is in the front seat. Okay, as you're making your way through, the path eventually becomes more and more and more narrow, and you realize something that's going on. It looks like the vines themselves are moving in the ground, like essentially closing a curtain of sorts before you. What do you guys do?
So wait, it's under the wheels that's moving, or?
Like imagine the way is wide open before you, right?
Uh-huh.
Now imagine you're kind of going through a channel essentially of giant like mutated plants on either side of your vehicle.
Right.
That's kind of almost like you're like driving down the road through a forest, right? Except this forest is mutated with instead of like
kind of like part in the sea.
kind of like part in the sea, yeah. What you realize though is that as you're looking ahead, Bam, you can see that there is, I already told you. You can see that there's like something beneath the surface. And as you're looking far ahead, you also see that it seems like the walls are closing in, like the walls of trees. You know they're moving. Something is going on that you're not quite fathoming. But you know that there is a time that looks like it's coming up ahead to where this thing is going to close in on the vehicle itself.
Speed up?
Does this thing go any faster?
Yeah. Can we see beyond them? Like, if we speed up, do we think we can get sort of through or past it? Or is it just sort of all the way as far as we can see?
That sounds like something you need to roll for me. What would you like to roll to ascertain that?
Good question.
That's usually what I tell my players.
Could I feasibly make a trek roll?
I'm going on.
No, it's about knowing sort of being able to judge things and knowing routes and whatever.
Sure,
She
I don't
might
know.
know from like.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a truck roll. Let's find out what it is. Roll the amount of. You had 1 and you rolled a 6? That is huge.
Whoa.
All right. Yeah. Did you wait? Did you have 1 pip in truck?
Yes, I have 1.
Okay, just double checking. So yeah. You realize that there's an area within the Barrens that is actually barren, that it's not mutated plants. And you realize that this route that Scroozy has told you leads right to it. You think if you can get to it, it might give you guys a breath of fresh air, a brief reprieve from the enclosing plants.
Go, bam, go.
I guess I'll go faster.
Step
Sure.
on it.
So what do you
Leave
want
it
to
up.
what do you want to do to go faster? What are you trying to do?
Oh man, I've only got 1 in finesse.
Hang on,
I
can
guess
anything
this
else
is it,
work? What have you
boys.
got?
I guess this is it. So no, wait, before you roll, there are a couple things of options you have. And I've tried to kind of put some of them down there for you guys. There's teamwork, if somebody's trying to help you out, right, somehow. There is the flashback. This would be a moment for you to be all right, Chris, one of the things that BAM has been working on in the past is a booster for the car to make it go faster.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's
Right.
do that.
So I'm using it as an example, but that is something I guess you could use. But you could say
It's such a good example.
so what you would
Okay,
say
so
is,
I've got an idea.
so then you say flashback, and then you describe to me the flashback.
Okay, so flashback.
Okay.
Bam is working on his car.
Okay.
He's got blades on the front, attached, like Mad Max.
Yeah.
With blades on the front. I can cut through shit,
Okay.
and maybe some on the sides. So anything that would come close would just get chopped down.
Is this
Okay.
just blades, or is it more of a Bam's gonna flick a switch in the car and it's saws that start spinning?
I
tell
want to
me.
do that, but I don't know if that would be too far.
You tell me. This is your car.
Yeah, okay, there's the switch.
So there's a switch with saws that come out, is what you're saying.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say, because it's saws, that's a pretty elaborate thing. So why don't you give me, so take 2 stress, but I will give you an additional die to this roll.
Okay. It's 2, 6. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so-
Actually, I tell you what, I'll give you an additional die to this roll, and I will increase the effect of your roll. So it will go from being standard to great should you succeed.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. So there's also the option to always take a devil's bargain as well. Just throwing it out there. But your turn. Whenever you're ready, Irish, you can go roll, or I can give you a devil's bargain.
I was gonna say, can we help? The whole
How would you like to help
moral
her?
support.
Just moral support. You can absolutely give her moral support.
And by shouting, "Put your foot down."
Tough love, morals, and
Yeah, exactly.
All right, awesome. I love this moment. All right, so you yell, put your foot down. You flick the switch. Poof, saws come out of the jalopy. Go ahead. What are you gonna roll for me for this?
I've already rolled.
Oh, you did. I didn't even see it. Shit. I was distracted looking at other things.
Not good.
It's not good.
2. That's a fail. All
Two
right.
twos.
So here's what happens.
Dice are loaded.
Can't lose my
The-
car on the first fucking session, dude. Come on.
So saws come out from the sides, and the plants are getting so close at this point. One of their thorns gets caught in the saws, and they immediately get ripped out of the sides of the car. And you realize you've maybe got a time for one last action as a group before this thing closes in on you guys. What are you gonna do?
Oh man. Let me read the rolls a second.
So as she's doing that, I'll describe a little bit more in detail. You see these vines from the back side that have kind of like come out in your rear view mirror, Bam, and you can see them. And as they're getting closer, you're like, oh my God, these vines are coming after us. You realize that at the end of them are mouths that go like this.
Can I, add this as like one of the things that I took on this, and attempt to throw a
Kind of weed
Molotov
killer.
out the window.
Say that again, sorry.
Throw a Molotov out the window.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, you said you were preparing that, if I recall. So what do you want to roll?
I think raid, is that a suitable kind of role? So kind of perform a drive-by. That's.
I think rec or raid both fit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go for raid. I've got a pip and raid.
Perform a drive-by. All right, so you can take 2 stress to just gain an additional die. You can use a flashback. You can ask for a devil's bargain. Just
Go on
bunch of
then,
options.
hit me with a bargain. Come on.
You want a devil's bargain?
Yeah, fuck it. Hit me with
You
it.
want a bit of a devil's bark? Okay,
Can I
cool.
still accept or decline after you describe this?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah.
Roll me a D100.
Oh.
82. So that would be 41. All right, here we go. Devil's bargain.
Now,
Okay.
before you go into this, remember how nice I've been to you for just forever.
That's okay. This for forever. Oh, I will absolutely remember how nice you've been to me.
Can I use my "I've not lied to you yet" thing and believe me?
Here is this is called you're all on your own. After this roll, you cannot offer to assist anyone on else's roll for the rest of the score. That's the devil's bargain.
Yeah, she's honestly not a very helpful person.
Okay. All right.
Probably a pretty accurate one for her, honestly.
So then roll me 2 die for your raid roll.
Boy, oh god, oh man. Come on, let's do this. No! It's a success. Not a 2.
Hey, that's a success.
Like, you know.
That is a success, but
To be clear, the intention is to try and burn a gap to get that car through.
yes,
Or
that's
try
how
and
I
hold
kind
back
of
the plants for long enough. Yeah.
that is how I envisioned it in my mind. You take this Molotov cocktail and throw it. You throw it out in front of you, and you can see like the fire like makes a small mushroom cloud as the plants immediately recoil from it. However, as I said, you kind of like got out of the passenger side window to do it. And so as that happens, razor sharp vines actually slice you along your arm. So you're gonna take a level 1 harm. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your character sheet, Outlaw, and under harm level 1, you'll see a couple gaps there. Go ahead and put cut or laceration, as your arm is clearly bleeding from this. So what this means is until you get this amended, all of your rolls will happen with a reduced effect. But it's enough to push you guys through. Now, I realized earlier, Irish, that I made a mistake.
Oh.
You gave me a flashback with the saws on, and I immediately destroyed them, which actually wasn't fair, because you should still have that. So instead, you just failed your roll to race the car. And so how I'm going to interpret that is essentially like you you push the button for the saws to come out, and they don't. so they're
Right,
jammed. So you realize that might be something that you can fix. And because you're so focused on that happening, what actually ended up happening was like your jalopy like started to get like hit in the back. And so your car is like taking some slight damage. You're not entirely certain if it's cosmetic or more, but at the very least, it's still going. You make it to this barren patch in the barrens and the wasteland where no plants are there. And it just seems to be black, which stands in stark contrast to all of the sand that you have seen thus far. Do you guys like come to a stop? What are you doing?
I guess I would slow down so we can actually like scan the surroundings and see what we can see.
Okay, so instead of like the desert sands kind of like kicking up, it's this like black sand or dirt or something that's kicking up. It doesn't look quite like dirt though, which is weird. It's pure black, not even like that dark brown like dirt. And so as you're looking around, you realize there's essentially like a huge circle the size of a football field. And I mean that in the English parlance, not American soccer, although they're kind of the same size. But it's huge. It's this big area. In fact, it looks like it could be 3 football fields long and wide. There's absolutely nothing but this dark ground. You said you were scanning this horizon, though. So go ahead. What are you doing to do that? What are you rolling to do that?
Could I use read?
Sure. I'll allow you to do that. Recon a location. That sounds pretty good.
So since I've got, is it just one?
Is that how many you have in it? Is just one die?
I've got one in read.
So then that would be, yes, just one die.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, you can also take stress and all that stuff, but that is a success, but with consequences. So success, you're able to look through and you see like, oh, okay, this is not as crazy as I thought, but why is it like this? You begin to see a kind of like rumbling fast in the distance, and like it kind of like comes underneath the back of your car, which has already been damaged from the cars, and it's underground, and it seems like it's moving incredibly fast as it like goes right underneath the back wheels. And Outlaw, go ahead and roll me. This is going to be the consequence. It's going to happen to Outlaw because she specifically said she's in the back seat. Outlaw, you can roll me a resolve check to see if you lose your shit or not.
Oh, okay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 thingies in resolve.
You have 4 and you have 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you have 4
2
total
this way,
pips.
one in bottom, one in-
Yeah, but you only count the stuff on the left side of that black line.
Okay.
So we're starting it with 6, and whatever your highest is, we'll subtract from the 6. So go ahead and roll it for me.
Am I just rolling 3d6?
Roll 3d6. Oh,
Boy.
2. All right. You lose your shit because you take 4 stress from this. And that's the consequence. It's being visited upon her. As you realize, as this thing like bumps over and maybe like you hit your head, or you kind of like get knocked around a bit and you're kind of like, what the hell was that? You see it is this. Have you guys ever seen the movie Tremors from the 80s?
Oh my god, I fucking knew you were gonna say Tremors. God damn it.
Yeah.
So you see this big like worm-like creature underneath the ground that like comes up, and you could just see like its back, and it seems like it just like keeps going as it makes like a loop, and then eventually like comes up out of the ground and turns towards your party, and you see this giant gaping maw filled with circular teeth as it like dives back into the ground and begins like kicking up dirt behind you as it is following you. What do you do?
I think I preferred the plants.
Can we go back home?
No.
Yeah, we've got a week of supplies, that'll last forever.
I think I preferred it when I was a brain, just travelling through space.
You preferred it as a brain just traveling through space? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you do? This giant worm is following you.
Should we do the bear tactic?
The bear tactic?
No.
Stand our ground.
Oh.
I thought
Yeah.
you meant lay down and play dead.
No,
Either works.
do it. Do the bear tactic. I like it.
Oh, I don't know. Because if we run, it's gonna think we're pretty.
It's gonna chase more, isn't it? If we were moving
Yeah.
target.
Any of you guys got any like impressive big old weapons or something?
Okay. I'm going
I
to give
may
you
have
guys
forgotten about that before we
1 minute to
okay.
decide what the heck you're doing.
Fuck.
Otherwise, we're going to stand here
Hey.
forever.
I'm
Timer
hurt
starts
in the back. Ash is
now.
useless right now.
59 seconds.
What should we do? Should we run? Should we stay? I don't know what to do.
Can we see how we're just surrounded by kind of like nothingness, right?
Pretty much. 40 seconds left.
Is there any buildings or anything? Nothing? Just plain flat
Or
land?
areas
I
of
tell ya.
plants again?
There is areas of plants again. Go ahead and roll me. I like that idea, though. Go. You're looking for buildings or something in the midst of all of this. What are you going to roll
Yeah.
to look for that?
I mean, you could do a raid again. Did you have a dot on that?
Scrounge. Spot useful things.
Sure, that's fair. Go ahead and roll me scrounge.
I got 2 in that. Let's go.
Remember, you
Oh,
can always
fuck
take
yeah.
you can always take stress to get an additional die, or take a devil's bargain.
Is it just 1 stress or 2?
It is 2 stress for 1 die.
Oh.
Hey, shut up! I've got 4 right here.
Okay, yeah, okay, let's do it. I got 4 stress in it.
Okay.
3d6.
3d6. See if you can spot something useful.
Come on.
This game's
It's
fun.
rolling the dice. I don't
I'm
see
glad
it.
you like it. 2, 1,
I got a 5. I got a
5. Success, but with consequences.
Oh.
Okay. You see a building that is on the line of trees, and it looks like there is. First off, the thing you realize is that it's a pretty close to the location that the guy said. Second thing you notice is that the building is surrounded. This is the consequence. It's surrounded by trees. Like vines are kind of like all over it, maybe even inside of it. You're not entirely certain. But you see it in the distance. It is beyond the line of black dirt that is underneath you now. The worm is gaining on you. 30 seconds left to decide.
Drive.
Can I hunt to see if I can find a way in? Like, if we can find a way through the plants and stuff? Or,
Sure. So
look
to be
for a break and like where the worm is so that we can sit through.
sit for like just get a breather, essentially, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys this here just because it's gonna be helpful. So I'm gonna move you for just a moment over here. All right, just to kind of describe what we see. First off, that's kind of the black ring of sand that we're talking about. Okay, surrounding it is this tree line that I was kind of telling you about, and I can't grab it for whatever reason. So, but you get the idea. The building itself is like almost in this weird in-between spot down here. But you notice that the tree line has like essentially kind of like infested it and maybe is like covering some of the windows and the like. Does that make sense? Yeah. So go ahead. A couple things. What are you rolling to go faster, Irish? And then Aya, and you said you're going to roll to hunt to see if you could find a bigger, quicker, easier access in.
Yeah.
Both of you go ahead and roll. And Outlaw, you're more than welcome to do something as well.
Can I look at the page?
There's something I want to do.
What did you say, Irish?
Can I look at the other page again so I can see what I want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that.
No, you good.
Is there any benefit to indulging in your vices?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
No, just in general. Like, does it do anything? Or...
Yes. So for you to be able to decrease your stress, you have to engage in your vice.
Okay. Because my initial plan was to do this anyway because of the pain and kind of feel a bit numb, but now I'm freaking out. There's a lot of craziness going on that I'm not paying attention to, so I'm just gonna snort some cocaine in the back. Drugs.
You have party drugs? That's amazing. Okay. All right. So here's what. So I think if you snort that cocaine, it will essentially numb the pain, and you won't feel it. And you'll be at your normal ability to act. So in the middle of all of this going on,
I'm fully accepting any other downsides to that, and that would be beneficial later on if it was a problem. But for now, yeah.
I tell you what. How about we say this? How about you can have a +1 to your rec and your rating, but you will have a -1 to your hunt and your reading. I think that's probably fair.
Okay.
All right. So let me paint the scene for all of this. Irish's jalopy, this beat up post-apocalyptic ass car, is racing across this black ground to be able to get to some semblance of safety, because behind it is a giant worm that is chasing them, something like from Tremors or from Dune. As this is going on, Irish has got this look on her face. Just like gunning it as fast as she possibly can. You've got Vi with a steely glare just looking for any means of entry into this place ahead of it. And you have Ash, Outlaw's character, in the back seat doing her best to snort some coke as she is like being wrecked and jumping all over the place because of the car. It's all over her face.
I'm thinking she has one of those, like, you know, like in movies where you watch it and like the ladies in charge of the whorehouses have like the ring with cocaine and you snort it.
Okay.
What's it called? Oh my god. Cruel Intentions. You know her little thing with the little tiny spoon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so we need to so we are we're getting ready to do our rolls. So here we go. Bam, bam. I'm going to need that hunt roll from Aya. I'm going to need, what are you rolling to make the car go faster?
Finesse, but I want to do a devil's bargain.
Want to do a devil's bargain?
I'm going to pay 2 stress and roll an extra die on my hunt roll.
Okay, so first off, let's first off go ahead and resolve Aya's roll. Aya, go ahead and roll me that hunt roll. Let's see what you find in the distance. And as you're doing that,
so much in the distance.
So much in the distance too. Unfortunately, you do not see an entrance
something over there.
So that spooks you.
D6 is fucking rough.
It is. This game, I love this game because it's so rough. Okay, so Devil's Bargain. Roll me a D100 and let's find out what we get here, because I've got like this whole thing of Devil's Bargains and I'm going to use them. Tell me what you got, because I can't see. 35. Okay, so that'll give you like a, let's see here, 13. That sounds good. All right, so I'm going to just say them aloud, and I'm going to let you, I'm going to say them aloud. I'm going to let you choose. So option 1 is hot-headed cohort. Option 2 is turned around. Which one would you like me to read to be your Devil's Bargain?
I don't know.
You just choose it by the title, and then I'll read it. Turned around or hot-headed cohort.
Can I flip for it?
If you'd like to, roll for it. Roll me a D4, and then 1, 2 will be hot-headed cohort. 3, 4 will be turned around. We'll see what we get. That'll be fun. 2, a hot-headed cohort. Okay. During this run, one of your cohorts back home, one of the people in your settlement, have picked a fight with one of your allies. You have the option to either pay one of your supplies that you get from this run, if you come back with supplies, to amend the relationship, lose reputation or lose faction relationship with that group.
Oh, Jesus.
So you can lose one supply, you can lose reputation for your group, or you can lose part of your relationship with your allied faction to gain an extra die on this roll. And I'll let you choose one of those three.
You only have one allied faction. No worries.
Pretty soon it'll be 0.
How much are the supplies that we given to that old lady? What was the percentage? Did we figure that out?
15.
Oh, I mean, I said 15. We'll see about that.
Wow. Skeezy. I love it.
Well, the whole
I'm
time,
trustworthy
Vi was
until I aren't.
thinking, I don't know, well, actually, we'll see.
Don't worry,
Okay.
trust me.
All right, come on, make the decision. Do you want that devil's bargain, or do you just want to roll with your 2 die? Or is it 1 die? I forget.
It's a one.
Oh, wow. I'm certain that extra die would be helpful.
I know.
Irish, I'm not gonna lie, but if you take this and you still roll really low, that's it. That's it for us.
Go ahead,
Fuck
tell
it.
me.
I'll do.
How many times
oh,
did you roll really high in Delta Green when we need to roll low?
Right.
You got to think to yourself.
All right, come on, make the decision, Irish. You gonna take the
man.
devil's bargain or no? 5, 4, 3.
I'll take the stress. I'll take
2.
the stress.
Okay, you'll take the stress instead. 2 die for 1. 2 stress for 1 die. All right, Irish. Go ahead and roll me 2 die for your finesse roll as you're racing this thing, trying to escape from the giant worm. Fail! Oh no!
I don't even know what's going on, man. I'm
All right, you.
You learn to drive. Jeez.
Irish, your car is getting closer and closer to the edge. You feel like you're actually getting away from the worm, when all of a sudden, pop! One of your wheels blows, and you're just riding on one rim and one wheel on the back row. You are slowing down. This thing is gaining a significant amount of speed. What happens is, as that's going on, you get towards the edge, and it bumps the end of your car, and the car goes rolling, kind of like flipping it over, and you guys end up it ends up landing on its wheels after the rolling, but you guys end up pretty close to this building, and for the moment feeling like you have a bit of a respite. However, you got knocked, and the car rolled pretty hard, and it is incredibly damaged.
Oh no.
Roll me a d6 to determine how damaged it is. 6 being miraculously not damaged at all. 1 being super messed up. Okay. So it took in the middle. It took some significant damage. It's beat up. You know it's going to need some TLC before you can leave this place. Now, everybody else, go ahead and roll me a prowess check to see how you were able to resist the damage from being in a rolled vehicle like that.
Oh boy, I just got 2 extra this, so I have a wreck now. That's 3.
So
Thank
how
God for
does
cocaine.
that work? Is that each of the dots that?
No, it is all the dot. Yeah, it's all the dots in the front to the left side of the line of prowess.
Okay.
That is your prowess score. Funny enough, you can also 3d6. So 4. Okay, so outlaw. You're gonna
Just me
escape.
as well, yeah.
Say again.
Just me as well, yeah.
This is you as well. Absolutely. I'm going to kind of use the same rules 1 through 3. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, so first off, Outlaw and Aya, you both are going to take level 1 harms. And we're just going to call it roughed up. So put roughed up in your level 1 harms.
Yeah,
And-
do I care? No.
Irish, you failed your roll. And so as a result, you're going to take a level 2 harm, which means that you now have a -1 die to all of your rolls.
The fuck? What if I only have 1 dice? What the fuck is that?
Then what happens is you will roll 2 dice and take the lesser of the 2.
Yeah, I've got -1 to hunt and read. I don't have any die in that. Like, we're fucked.
It's okay.
What do
All
I
right.
put in my thing? Just like fucked up.
Put level 2 harm, and what we'll say is, we'll say you broke. We'll say you sprained your arm. Put sprained arm. Like a level 3 harm would be like a broken arm.
Right.
So this is a sprain. Like it really hurts to be able to move it around, and so it's going to reduce your effectiveness. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Cool. You guys are standing before this mysterious building on the cusp of the Barrens. Your car is super messed up. You don't even know if this is the place that you were supposed to go to. It was described as a farm, for all you know. And you have this worm that has seemed to have stopped in this black dirt and kind of like turned towards you and like turns around before disappearing into the black ground below. What do you guys do before as you stand before this building?
Hey, Bam.
Yeah.
You ever done cocaine? Do you want to?
Very tempted.
I don't mean to be judgy, but you look pretty effed up, dude.
When did this show get turned into like peer pressure hour?
I'm trying to remember what the vices are fleshed out. Which one's pleasure? Is that the booze and drugs and shit?
So yeah, it can be booze and drugs and shit, but ultimately it's up for you to kind of flesh that out and how that looks like.
Could be sex.
Could be sex.
Could be sex, yeah.
Could be sex. So with that said, that's not something you can really engage in until after the mission.
Right.
After the run. So, what do you guys do? You stand before this building, clearly covered in some of these carnivorous plants with giant thorns. How do you proceed? You know you got to keep going one way or another.
I'm gonna get to work on the car.
Okay, so you're gonna try and work on the car and get some like repairs in.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a mechanic check.
What is check?
I'm sorry, I was thinking Starfinder for whatever reason. What roll do you want to roll to work on your car?
Hack, I guess, repair devices.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll me hack.
Oh, 21. Oh.
Or you can always take a devil's bargain.
Okay, let's hear another devil's bargain. Let's do.
Okay, devil's bargain is this. I will give you an additional die because you had some foresight to be able to bring some additional tools. However, you will not be able to repair your vehicle again this mission because it is essentially some one-use items.
No.
Okay.
Because if I fuck up, that's it.
By the way, do you guys feel like, so this game is meant to like make the players feel like they're scoundrels always hanging on by a thread. And I hope.
I feel like that right now. What do you mean?
Yep.
Awesome.
We haven't even got there yet.
I mean, you are there.
Love it.
Awesome. Okay.
I guess I'll just do one then.
All right. One mechanic die. She's got the spray. And you're not doing any coke?
No.
Come on, Irish. Don't you want to do some coke?
No.
Don't you want to do?
Boring,
Come on.
man. Fuck.
God.
I'll wait until I get home.
Stick in the mud.
I'll wait till I get home. All right. Go ahead and roll me your 1d6 and let's find out what happens.
No!
Oh my god.
Why am I rolling so bad tonight? What the fuck is this bullshit?
Oh my
What's
god.
Listen to Green, man.
All right. So
These
Yeah.
sixes are so tough.
yeah, it is. So you begin to try and work on the vehicle, and it is not going well. In fact, like your arm just like keeps getting hurt and in the way, to the point where you actually like pull out a hose that you weren't supposed to, and fluid starts leaking all over the place that shouldn't be leaking. Now you're able to like get it back in time, but you know that you lost a lot of fluid from the vehicle. You don't. We'll say it's brake fluid. You don't need brakes, right?
That's fine. Nobody needs to stop anyway. We need to go faster.
No repairs. Broken brake line. Standing before this place. What are you guys gonna do? You have 1 minute to decide.
I'll try again in 20 minutes.
Could have used my spit as brake fluid.
Have you ever done some meth?
Oh, God.
I mean, how infested is the building looking?
Looks pretty bad.
No, I don't really want to go in there then.
Well, you know what Vi's thinking?
What is Vi
Wreck a
thinking?
place, vehicle or item or obstacle with savage force. Unleash chaos. Breach defenses.
All right, so Vi's thinking about just like busting up some of these vines.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it. Would you like to take 2 stress for an additional die? Would you like to hear Devil's Bargain? Or would you like to do a flashback? Remember, you've got all kinds of ideas, things.
Oh man, I was gonna help you, but then I remembered I can't.
It's true.
No, it's the thought that counts. I want to hear a Devil's Bargain.
Devil's
We're
Bargain.
kind of in a lot of trouble here.
Sure. I will not only give you an additional die, I will increase your effectiveness on this roll to break in through the vines. However, you will lose the item that you are using. Well, essentially, you'll use it once and it's gone. What do you say?
Okay, I'm thinking about that one.
All right. You got 5 seconds to decide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's your answer?
I'm just going to take the stress, I think.
Okay, 2 stress. Takes 2 stress because she's really concerned with getting in. Count Bubula says, paint it, go faster, red, of course. Come on, Irish. That's what that has to be what you need to do.
Should have put a
We should
fucking
have
stripe
stopped,
on it.
got out, and yeah.
Where are the flames? Where are the flames? Okay.
At one point, you rolled before I could say it, but I was going to be like, man, don't I remember Bam, like, I don't know, reinforcing the armor on this car? And you rolled.
Okay.
Okay, let's break into this place.
All right, go ahead.
Get rid
Go
of
ahead
these
and
vines.
give me that wreck roll. 3, 5, 4. Success, but with consequences. So yeah, you begin like wrecking through these vines. Like they begin like falling off, like going off. They seem to be trying to fight back, but like you've cut a significant amount of them down. The door is opened for you to be able to get in.
Is there more vines inside, or more plants, or
There are.
can we see inside the door?
So funny enough, it looks like there are no other vines. What are you opening the door?
Yeah.
So you open the door, and I imagine like the camera's inside the building, and you open the door, and we see 3 silhouettes, one of which is holding their arm because it's sprained. It's like the light comes pouring into a place where clearly light hasn't been for a very long time. And you notice a strange absence of vines. What you do notice, though, is like kind of signs like hanging kind of cattywampus. There appears to be no light on, and it appears to be very dark. How do you proceed?
Let's go inside. Let's get I mean, at least inside we're safe from the plants, right?
Does anybody have a light? Or are you going in the darkness?
What would a light be?
Just an equipment item. I would say that's probably a general item. So, like, if it says, like, a torch, or if you want to go to the bottom where it says add, you could probably just add, like, flashlight or lantern, something like that. That would be an item that people could probably have.
I was gonna say, because I've got, like, gadgets and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
one of the gadgets could be like gadget
can be a light
or something.
Yeah, absolutely. See, and that makes sense with you working in the workshop all the time. So you put on this headlamp, and you realize that you're in what appears to be some type of place that you've never, like. There's like dust motes kind of like hanging from the sky, like within the light that you can see every so often. And that type of thing. I'm trying to think if I can see something here. You see a... I'm trying to think here how I can do this. Give me a second.
While we're sort of gearing up to go inside, I'm gonna hand Bam a bottle of fine pre-war booze, for the pain.
Thank you.
Okay, remember to be marking these things off.
Yep. Luckily, party drugs doesn't count towards my load because it's drugs.
Okay. The sign that's kind of like hanging above what appears to be kind of like a vestibule type entrance, not vestibule, that's the wrong word, lobby. It says Jones Food Company. And maybe like a light kind of like flicks off to the sign. As you begin to kind of like look around, you see and realize that this is just like the first floor to something much larger than you thought. Luckily, this seems to be in some weird ring that's is between the black dirt as well as the carnivorous plants outside. You see like floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it seems to be able to have a non-working elevator, which for you guys would just be kind of like an empty shaft. There are stairs. Where are you guys just start exploring? What are you doing?
Does it say what's on each floor?
It does. Floor 1 says, lobby, administration. Floor 2 says R&D. And floors. And so here's the thing. My apologies. I'm doing this poorly. I'm not describing it how I'm imagining it correctly enough. Floor 1, the ground floor, which you're currently on, says administration lobby. And then it says SUB1. And then that says R&D. And then it also says SUB 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the idea that this is not so much like a super tall building as it is mostly like an underground. Yeah. And floor 2 or floor 3, subfloor 2 says like tomatoes. Subfloor 3 says lettuce. Subfloor 4 says onions. And you realize that this actually goes on for quite some time. Maybe like 10 floors total.
Jeez. Can't even get a car to load up.
Too soon.
But all I'm hearing is perishable things. Is anything actually still edible? Let's go see.
As you begin to explore the various floors, this apparently used to be. Well, actually, go ahead. What do you? As you go into the R&D, you see, chairs, tables, books out. What appears to be like older computers that are clearly not on. Formulas that are written on whiteboards and glass and the like. What are you doing to kind of take all this in? What are you rolling? Or what are you rolling to understand what is written before you? Might be a better idea, a better way of putting it.
Oh, if we're talking understanding things, I'm out.
I don't know things.
Not while I'm on cocaine, no.
Yeah, you're just.
Oh my god.
Just have like
I was thinking about just full on, like, sort of raiding the place.
Is this for anyone to try and
Yeah,
understand?
anybody can try and understand. Anybody.
Alright, I'm gonna do a scrounge. Scrounge up items or information.
Okay, go for it.
Really? I thought about it.
And see if you can spot useful
It's a
things.
free.
3. You see that there's a bunch of
God.
information, and you got lots of it, but you can't make heads or tails of it.
I got nothing.
Now, you could bring these
There was a
papers.
receptionist here to seduce, right?
Now, you can bring all this stuff back, and maybe somebody who could understand it could explain it to you. That's another idea as well. But right now, it remains an enigma.
Can the rest of us roll, or should we just kind of move on from it?
If you want to roll, you can always try.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah, can we
scrounge
do it
as
as like a group action?
Can you do it as a group action?
well. You two can. I'm scrounging on my own.
Yeah, you come up with nothing. You guys are in the R&D area. Are you ready to move on, or would you like to also try and roll, Aya?
Yeah, Vi's not really interested in R&D stuff.
Makes sense.
She's just looking for useful things. I mean, useful, not.
Wow.
Is it like bits of paper and stuff? Is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's bits of paper. There's all kinds of information all over the place. They were clearly working on something. You just can't quite make it out.
All right,
Sounds like nerd stuff.
I'm gonna gather up all the loose bits.
Mhm.
And stuff them in my backpack.
Yeah, someone back home will understand it, right?
Cool. As you begin to make your way to the lower levels, it's very dark. I mean, keep in mind you're essentially in a cave. Not really a cave, but you're beneath the earth with multiple floors on top of you at this point. So her headlamp only goes so far. As you go down there, though, you feel kind of the humidity rise. And this third floor, you kind of, first thing you realize is that when you kind of like make it down, you can kind of like a small hallway type space, and there are double doors that lead to somewhere. And as you open those double doors, you feel the humidity one hit you. And then the second thing you feel or you hear is the echoing of your footsteps as your headlamp begins to kind of like move to and fro. And you find in this underground area what appears to be like the perfect environment for plants to be able to grow. And for whatever reason, they have been continuing to grow. You could even maybe like feel the water, and you realize that this is a giant room, massive, with essentially like food that is in these, what are they called? indoor farms, and somehow like there's just enough going for it to be like continually self perpetuating. You would check out some of the other floors as well, and maybe like 2 of them are busted. But at the very least, this one that's producing tomatoes seems to continue to be working.
Okay, well, we could do with collecting some up then.
Yeah, is there like a
We
little
need
box
some
or
food.
a basket or something you could start putting stuff in?
Yeah, I imagine that there are ways in which they've like harvested tomatoes and stuff like that before. And so, yeah, you can absolutely start filling up those baskets filled with tomatoes and the like.
Right. Silly question, just because I get a feel for the world that we're in. Is there any way that I mean, I have a radio, so it's not completely out of the ordinary, but potentially having something that I could take pictures on, so that I could take this home and be like, could we try and replicate this someday when we're in a better position and we have the equipment?
Yeah. I mean, one thing you guys did was you picked up a bunch of that paperwork and the like, so maybe there's something in there.
True.
But yes, if you want to, like, yeah, it seems like they're using some types of piping and like elevated platforms to put, dirt in. And it looks like, as dangerous as it is, that this might be a place that you could actually come back to in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was such a fun drive here.
Okay. We're going to just fast forward. You guys have collected as many tomatoes as you can fit in your car, just utterly filled with them. The car is not in a great shape, as you can imagine. You feel like it can get repaired, but as it stands right now, it looks like it'll run, but it won't go very fast.
That could be a problem.
How do you guys proceed?
Yeah.
You guys have 1 minute to decide.
Is there any other, like, any way we can get around the black part without actually going on the black sand?
That is a really good question. It does look like there is a small band of regular ground between the mutated plants and the black dirt. It occurs to you that at this point in time, you barely escaped with your lives. And you also realize why there might be a band in this area. In that this creature is probably capable of, at the very least, reaching out and snatching things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you guys a second to discuss yourselves. I'm getting a call I need to take on my phone real quick. So I will be right back. You discuss the plan.
Okay.
Hey, Rick.
Okay. I could try and reach out to like a contact and see if we can figure out another safe way out, or
Yeah.
we could try and find somewhere safe-ish to work on the car, or try and work on the car here some more. I don't know.
I'm not gonna do shit to the car because I've got a -1 right now. And I'm at 6 stress.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right? So good. I think reaching out to somebody and maybe offering them 1 fresh tomato.
1 hot tomato.
Maybe... I don't know. And one brain cell is kind of dead right now.
Is there any
My
way
throat's-
we can sort of distract the plants so that we can sort of get through?
Can we somehow pit the plants and the worm against each other in some really cool, like, cinematic looking thing?
That'd be
I'm
really
guessing not, because the plants aren't in the black soil and the worms not in the, planty bit.
Yeah, but very, very recently it occurred to me that the worm thing is probably capable of reaching out. Or whatever else Prankster said.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why there's a band where there's no plants, because the worms probably
Yeah.
eaten them. It's so tricky to know what to do because
Alternatively, we live here now.
hey, well, we've got food.
We radio back home and be like, fuck you! And then the old man sends everyone out to kill us.
They have now become our most, like, hated enemy.
Just quick, he's coming back.
What were you thinking? Try and get some info.
Okay, I am back. You guys are trapped in this kind of mid-circle.
So I got a question.
Sure.
I've got an exotic weapon, right?
Yes.
Could that be what is that? Is that anything I could possibly want it to be, or
So within reason, but yeah,
Within
most of this game is you guys filling in the gaps. They put something in there that's kind of vague, and you're like, okay, this exotic weapon looks like this. It's a board with nails, or, it's a baseball bat with knives, right? It's just a cricket bat, just because it's fun, right? But an exotic weapon, to me, would indicate that it has some interesting quality about it that kind of makes it stand out from others.
okay? So
Okay, who brought the weed killer?
I was just thinking, like, maybe I could do like another little flashback and be like, I attached my exotic weapon to the front of the car, and it's just like a giant flamethrower.
Why didn't you do that before, you bastard?
That's awesome. So I think it's very reasonable that you would try to create like a flamethrower. I don't think it has to be a flashback. Doesn't necessarily have to be using the equipment you currently have. That would be penalizing yourself twice because you'd be taking an equipment and taking stress from a flashback.
Right.
Unless what you're telling me is you would prefer to do it like that because you're so high on stress that you would prefer to utilize equipment.
Alternatively, because your rolls have been absolute dog shit, you could not
So
put
shit.
pure fire on top of our vehicle.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
That'll be
Bad
fun.
idea.
Yeah, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? I'm sure we're
God,
about to
death.
find out.
All right.
Me with a -1. Oh god. Gonna lose my car in the first session.
All right. So your car's filled up with tomatoes. Are you going to use this flashback to you building this flamethrower on your car?
Our other option was to contact somebody.
Just
Oh
ooh.
yeah, I was gonna like radio some like contacts and see if there's another way out.
But that doesn't sound anywhere near as cool.
We can do both.
Mm-hmm. You guys tell me. You're the players. I'm going to give you 1 minute to come up with the plan. Go.
What do you think?
While I eat olives. Like a king. Yes. Delicious.
Yeah, nothing more royal than eating olives straight out of the jar.
Oh, yes, and my mystic mango booch.
No, not the boot.
Fucking love mango, dude.
See my pinky up? That's what I learned
Pinky
to
up.
be fancy.
Okay, I'm gonna radio a contact.
Yeah, I think radioing's probably a better idea, seeing how shitty I've been rolling tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can do that, and then if nothing comes of it, you can have a flashback. And probably burn us all to death in a fiery inferno.
Who is the contact you're messaging?
I have in my character sheet a good relation with someone called Hey Steve.
His name is Hey Steve.
It's actually A Steve, but I'm more
Oh.
pronouncing it as like Hey Steve.
What does it say? Does he have like a job or anything next to him? What's it say? Is it just?
He is a killer, so I'm thinking he might know his shit.
All right. So you radio Hey Steve. How's it going there?
Hey Steve. Look.
Yes,
I'm
that's my
very
name.
frank with you.
Yep.
Me and my buds are in a real pickle.
That sucks.
It sure does. You ever encountered a big old worm in the Barrens?
I've never encountered a worm in the Barrens because I've never been so foolish to go to the Barrens. Where are you?
The Barrens.
He like spits out whatever he was drinking.
I was about to say that would be the perfect time for a spit take.
You're a goddamn fool. What are you doing there?
Yeah, we were desperate. Okay, we had a lead. It's not great. Do you
Yeah,
know?
I can
anything
imagine it
about
wouldn't
the
be great.
Barrens? Okay, I don't need the lecture.
Let's see. Does A. Steve know anything about the Barrens? He's a killer, so that means he probably doesn't have a ton in his thinking things. So I'm going to go ahead and just give him 1d6 to find out what he knows. 2. I know nothing. I don't know anything about the Barrens. I just know it's a shit place with mutated plants, and I know that nobody ever goes there because they die. So, given that you're going to die, I'm wondering if I can have your stuff.
Absolutely not.
But you're gonna die. Who's it gonna go to? Eh? Eh? Eh?
I have that taken care of. Just you'll get something. Don't worry about it.
All right, sounds good. Hey guys, we'll go raid their place tonight. The three of the main three
I'm not-
people aren't even there
You're
anymore.
a deaf idiot.
What? Oh, I meant we're gonna go jade their place tonight. You know, put up some jade.
See, you live kind of not too far from the Barrens, right, Steve?
Yeah, but I don't live in the Barrens.
Yeah. It would be a real shame if all this shit got out to your place, huh?
Well, I tell you what. If you're not back after a week, I know you're dead, and then we'll just raid you guys then. Sorry,
Okay,
I couldn't be more helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to seeing you again, if you live,
Yeah, you-
but you probably won't.
You too. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. All right, I love you, kid. And then he just hangs up. Lots of mixed messages from A. Steve.
I've got a question.
Yes.
So I've got a buddy that's a glow diver. Are those in the Barrens or no?
There can be.
Of like fans of mutated shit, right? Like they try.
Yeah,
and
they're
get
like
stuff.
crazy people that will jump into the glow to get like amazing treasures. And that is
Crazy
like
people. Give them a call.
yeah, it's very possible that your friend has actually come into the Barrens to do just that.
Alright, I guess I will radio in fucking two nose.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, he's Italian apparently, or at least he's stereotypically Italian. I shouldn't say he's Italian. He's stereotypically Italian. What can I help you with? This is just getting worse.
You know,
That's
I'm
not thinking
feeling-
from Boston.
I'm feeling more racist the more I do this.
so we're kind of stuck in the Barrens. The way out.
Oh shit, that stinks. Well, I
You
hope
been out
you.
here anytime?
Have I been out in the Barrens?
Aye.
Let's go ahead and have him roll 3d6. Oh yeah, I go there all the time.
What do you know about the big worm?
Ha! Oh yeah, Bertha. You're gonna want to avoid her.
Yeah, she nearly fucked up my car.
Yeah, she's got a real taste for humans. Like she's I've seen her eat at least 3 people.
How do we get out of the barrens without fucking touching that thing?
I mean, you usually just gotta go faster than him, and then you're good.
Okay, but let's see that my car is fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Can't go fast.
Huh.
How do I get out?
I mean, she doesn't have eyes. She sees via movement. So, I would suggest maybe if you go slow, like try and be quiet, don't really rock the boat. You might make it to a point where you can get out. That'd be my suggestion. Hey, when you don't come back because Big Bertha eats you, can I have your stuff?
I sense a theme.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, you're such a mensch. Hey, now he's Jewish apparently. What the heck?
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks for the info, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'll give you about a week, and then I'll come by to get your stuff if you're not, dead or
Sounds
alive. Okay, cool. I'm glad we came to an agreement on that. All right.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, so we gotta go slow.
Damn, I don't know how much we can trust your friend. His accent was all over the fucking place.
You know, so is he's a bull diver.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so how you guys doing this? You're gonna try and sneak out? Is that the plan?
I guess so.
Okay.
Man, we could have stealth cars if we were the night ladies.
Go ahead. Go ahead. So who is leading this? What are you guys rolling to kind of sneak out of here? Talk me through it.
I mean, we gotta take the car, like, either way.
Yeah, it's full of tomatoes.
I really have nothing that can help us in this.
Worst case, we can just start throwing tomatoes at things, right?
It's allergic to tomatoes.
Maybe.
Okay. Not the dumbest idea, but if we can come up with some kind of game plan, if any of us have some, like, I don't know, like grenades, frags, explosives that we can try and distract it with if it starts coming for us, that could work. Like cause some tremors over there.
Can I have, like, a remote controlled car?
You know what? You absolutely can. You said you have gadgets, right? That would be under your
gadgets. Yeah.
How many of your items have you used thus far?
What do you mean you?
So when you okay, so actually the question is, what is your current load? Or what is the load you brought? Because you have a choice, but when you go into every mission, to bring a light load, a medium load, which will actually cost you supplies, or a heavy load. That determines the amount of items that you can bring on a mission. So, you have used a light, so that's one gadget. You have used a jalopy, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
And you brought a toolkit, so that's 3. Those are 3 items that you've told me you've used. I don't think you have used any other items.
Oh, do I have? Oh, okay. Do I only click them if I'm using them?
Correct. You only click an item when you use it.
Okay.
But you decide beforehand, what was my load? So was
Right. So what have I used again?
the ones I know you for sure use are a toolkit to try and fix your car,
Yeah.
your headlamp, and your car, which is your jalopy.
Okay.
Those are the ones I know of for certain.
Okay, I guess I'll use another gadget and have a little remote control car.
All right. I like that.
So, my idea is, if someone drives really slowly, I can hang out of this goddamn fucking window and get my little remote control car, go as far away as possible.
Hang on a minute. So you're suggesting that a slow, full-sized car is going to make less sound and shakiness
It
than a
follows
small,
movement. It follows
remote-controlled car?
It follows movement.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
we're
it
still
was
going to make a
about
lot more movement.
Not if we go really slow. Like, so slow, you can't even tell. Like snails, but slower.
All right, so somebody's driving. Who's driving? And while Irish does this.
I'm gonna drive because her in the back is high on cocaine.
All right, Vi is going to drive because Outlaw's high on coke.
You know what?
Good
Because of
times.
that, I'm going to take another snort. Fuck you.
How dare you? Ah, I feel so good.
Yeah, if I was driving, I'd be driving recklessly.
Awesome. Okay, so let's do this. What are you guys rolling? What are you doing to roll carefully, Vi, and what are you rolling to control this car? Yeah. Count Bubula
Hack,
said,
maybe?
yeah, hack'll work. Count Bubula says, with a heavy German accent, it's the flamethrower. It works flammen.
Can I hear a devil's bargain?
Ooh, of course you can hear a devil's bargain.
Wow.
Here's the devil's bargain. The devil's bargain. Keep in mind you're missing a wheel on your car, by the way. Or a tire,
Hey,
I
we've
should
still
say.
got the wheel. It's just the tire.
Yeah.
It's fine.
See, devil's bargain.
I can't believe you didn't put the spare wheel on. Jeez.
Well, when I can't think, I'm going to ask you to roll me a D100. So roll me a D100.
It's fine, we're going slow, you know?
12.
24.
Okay. Here are the options. I can do. I like this, and I feel like this is good.
God,
All right.
No.
So this is called Weekend Getaway. If you indulge your vice after the score, which you're going to have to reduce your stress, you automatically overindulge. So what that means is you will clear 6 stress automatically. However, something happens. Something usually bad, like you go on a bender and like insult somebody, or maybe like you'll like reduce your relationship with another faction, right? There's a couple of things like that that can possibly happen. I'm gonna roll for
Get
it
somebody pregnant. Oh god.
yeah some complication. Little Bam is coming into the world, guys. Oh my god, that would be the best.
It would be so funny.
Oh, I love that you went there.
So would you choose what happens?
I would choose.
I think Bam's getting a son.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, you get an extra die to this roll.
Double ones.
Oh my god, I hope not. All right, so first off, Vi, why don't you go ahead and roll me to drive? What are you rolling to drive?
I think finesse, but not to race in a vehicle, but to anti-race in a vehicle.
Yeah, to be careful. Yeah, like that'd work. I'll take it. Go ahead and again.
I'm gonna take the stress hit as well, because I mean we've been through a lot already, and
All right.
everything kind of hinges on guys driving right now.
So
All right.
I've got a question. What happens when you hit top stress?
You can immediately take no more actions for the rest of the score, the run, and essentially when you get back, you disappear, and for like weeks at a time maybe, and you come back with a new trauma.
Okay.
And then you can resume playing your character.
Very cool.
Yep. 5. Good job, Aya. All right, so Aya, success with consequences. You are able to gently drive the vehicle to a point where it's going. However, the consequence is as you begin driving, like it seems like everything's going well, but about halfway, the hood of the car just pops up and is in your face. So it's going to be harder for you to navigate from here on out. It makes sense. This car's been through a lot. All right. So we'll see how that ends up happening. Irish, go ahead and roll me a hack.
Fucking yes.
Hello.
6. The heck are you? All right. Pure success, no consequences. Your plan goes off like a hitch. You begin driving this race car, just racing it as fast as you can across this big black field. And I imagine you take that extending like antenna, you pull it out like a whole other like 2 feet so it can go even farther. And you're just like hanging out, doing it. You're zoned in. And it makes sense. Like you're just moving your thumbs, not your arm. So like it works perfectly. And so you take off, and you can see like the trail of Earth kind of like moving behind it. And you're leading this thing essentially in a wild goose chase, and it is very focused on you. Now, I want you to make me a luck roll. 1, 2, 3, something terrible happens. 4, 5, 6, something okay happens.
Oh, okay.
I like us described as something okay.
Okay.
Thank God for that.
Okay. All right. So the hood is up on the car, and you're driving, and you manage to kind of like continue to follow the line without driving into the forest of mutated trees. Like you are holding the line okay. As you guys get to kind of like the place where you came in, you realize that a lot of that has been closed. Like there's like the scorch mark is how you know from like where you threw that Molotov cocktail. A big portion of that area though has it's essentially like opened back up again. But you know what happened the last time you tried to get through it. This seems to be the last obstacle in your way. And finally, is one last thing. Irish, you bring the race car back alongside of you, step out of the car, and pick it back up. But you successfully navigated the worm.
Hell yeah. My plan worked.
As you're eating a tomato.
Are you taking the wheel again?
Oh.
No.
She does have a sprained arm.
Okay. What do you guys do? 30 seconds to decide.
Does anyone have anything that can maybe scorch the plants again, or are we just gonna
Can
go
I?
fasting through
Yeah.
this?
Can I use an exotic weapon like a flamethrower?
Yeah, we'll say that was a flashback, so that'll put you up 2 stress. Because it is a little complicated to be able to equip a flamethrower to the front of your vehicle.
No. I don't mean on the front, just like a handheld one.
Oh, just like a handheld one. Oh,
Yeah.
Well then if it's not a flash... Okay, so it's not a flashback, you just have... So, yes, keep in mind your load, though, because once you hit 5, if that is the load you brought, that will cost you one of the supplies you've brought this mission.
I made a 4.
Okay. So...
Can I just like poke it out the window, like towards the front, and just
Begin kind of spraying?
like spray every now and then to keep them away?
Sure, I like that. I think that's fun. What are you doing, Outlaw, if anything? Just getting high?
I mean, yeah.
I feel bad because like
Is there
your character.
anything I can...
So
No,
glad we
no,
brought
that's
you
the-
along.
I was gonna say.
Hey, I found our way in, you motherfuckers.
She's gotten high and then offered everyone else drugs.
Hey, to be fair, she never offered
Hey,
mine.
you need help with that flamethrower? I'm not gonna help you, but I could just be like, good job, bud.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It'll suck. I'm gonna get high.
All right, go ahead and roll me. What are you rolling to keep them at bay?
Oh god, I gotta roll stuff. Huh?
Yeah, this is a tabletop role playing game. Generally, you have to roll for things to be able to do
I mean,
them.
the other alternative is you hand it to me, and I use my 2 die in raid to try and just fuck them up.
Can I?
And I could take some stress.
Yeah.
So I could try and like.
Yeah,
and
Sure.
I'll do that.
Okay, that sounds good. So you give your flamethrower to Outlaw's character, Ash. Ash, you have the flamethrower in hand. You're kind of like, I imagine, like sitting on the hood, out for any of the plants to come and get you. This flamethrower in
Yeah, well, you
hand.
stood up like out the sunroof.
I'm crazy, bro.
Like sunroof.
Do we have a
open.
sunroof? Do we have a makeshift sunroof of where we rolled over and there's a hole in there now? Sure.
Oh, you know what? I tell you, let's roll for it. Roll me a die. 1 through 3. Yes, you have a makeshift sunroof. You have a makeshift sunroof.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It's all like janky and like you could probably cut yourself though. So.
Oh hell yeah. I'm high. I don't care.
Okay, awesome. All right, roll me that raid. I'm gonna put on some tension music.
Can I hear a devil's bargain?
I would. You know what? I thought you would never ask for a devil's bargain. In the meantime, I'm also gonna go ahead and put on Anxiety, a favorite track of my friends here.
Oh, wonderful. My favorite. This is a banger.
It's a banger. Anxiety is a
Talking to the sheriff all over again.
good vibes. Talking to the sheriff. That's what I want. Okay. So that is going to be a 36. 36. Okay. I'm going to do this. Mine by rights. Earlier you said you were picking up things in the R&D lab. One of the things that you pick up was a picture of you.
Oh.
That is the devil's bargain.
I feel like that could have some fun later consequences. I'll take it.
Okay, so what is it? What does it mean that it's here? Does this change things for your character? All right, so roll a die, an extra die for your rate on this, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, not to take some liberties, but can I also take stress here?
No, actually, you can only take devil's bargain or take stress. Yes. 3d6. I'll tell you, if you roll a 6, which you didn't, so I'm not going to describe it. You begin blasting this flamethrower and it's working. Just like keeping everything at bay. However, as I described earlier, that little sunroof that you're in is very sharp. And so I imagine you guys go over a couple of bumps, and as a result, you get a significant laceration on your torso. And so that is going to be a level 1 harm. If you no longer have spaces for level 1 harms, it becomes a level 2 harm. Awesome.
You good back there?
I'm great. I'm having the time of my life, just like, yeah.
You're going to wake up like the next day and be like, oh, everything It hurts. You guys make it though. The fire is enough to keep it the trees at bay and get you guys out of there to be able to go back home. Well, that was actually perfect. I actually wish I let that continue to go. Well, missed opportunity. With that said, you make your way back home, like I said, and you can see that your people are underneath the overpass working on their things. You come with this huge bounty of tomatoes. It's probably more fresh food than they've seen in their entire lives. People start like eating them. Like, I imagine maybe you stop off at that one Scroozy and give her some as well. Her cut, as it were, 15%. So she's got lots of tomatoes. Go ahead.
Before we do that, can I try and lie to her in that she definitely agreed to 10%?
You can try, but if you fail, it will reduce your relationship with her.
I don't give a shit. So I have 2 in sway right now. I've got a -1 from my level 2 harm, but I haven't lied to her yet, so I get a +1 to a so when I'm trying to lie to someone as well. So that goes back to a 2.
I guess so. Yeah. So 2d6 to try and lie to her. 5 success with consequences.
Oh, maybe I think we did. Well, I guess that will conclude our business,
she says. And as it happens, she's like, but you know what? I think we can make things even. And how that manifests is as you leave, she's like, sick 'em, Brutus. And you see this dog like come chasing after you. And so I'm going to have you take 2 stress for that because of this dog chasing after you. And you just hear her cackling the entire time.
Fair enough.
Can we just throw a tomato at the dog's nose?
I was gonna say,
Stop it chasing.
I was definitely going to go more violent than that, but it's a dog, so I thought it was going to be people. I was ready to shoot them, but
I'm ready to shoot.
People.
Yeah, it's not people.
Yeah, not the dog.
Oh my god. All right, so with that said, you guys have made it. You are back at base. So what happens now is we come to what's called downtime. And downtime can actually be a lot of fun in this game. Because this is where you're actually able to engage in your vices. This is where you can actually, drum up new interests and contacts. This is where you can start short-term, mid-term, long-term projects. This is where you get healed for those of you who have harm and that type of thing. With that said, though, it's about when we would normally end, 4 p.m. And I think we've had a pretty full session. And so we'll engage in downtime activities the next time we play when we start out and then do another run. And that'll probably be a pretty good pace from here on out. But before we do that, we need to discuss experience points.
Oh, yeah.
So here's how it goes. For everybody, did your traumas, vice, or taboo cause a problem? For Ash, yes, your vice absolutely came into play. So you get 1 experience points from that. Did anybody else's vice or trauma come into play?
Mine's reckless, and the way she just tried to
Bust in a thing.
bust in the building.
Yep, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So 1 experience point for that.
Okay, where do I put that?
I totally forgot to do
Just
disparate
in
and
the top.
standard and all that. Yeah, put it in the. So you actually have the choice. You can put it in either insight, prowess, resolve, or in your playbook advancement. It's entirely up to you. When your playbook advancement hits 8, you get a new power or a new special ability. And when one of your skills gets up to 6, insight, prowess, or resolve, you get to input a pip wherever you want, or a dot on any of those skills in that area. All right, Irish, did your trauma, vice, or taboo cause a problem? Shoot, I closed roll 20 because I'm a big silly
I
face.
forgot about the traumas. I mean, I played pretty cold.
Do you
so-
think that being obsessed with like trying to fix the car would be one or not?
What is your trauma?
Obsessed.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I'll give it to you.
I've got a question. Can you only get 1 XP from this? Like, from that kind of XP trigger?
Yes, just one.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Where
it
would I
gets
put
kind
that
of.
in? Insight?
It's up to you. You could put it into insight. You could put it into. Let me look at your. Okay, cool. So you put it in insight. All right. Now, did you guys express your beliefs or background?
No.
Okay.
I lied pretty heavily, but I don't know if that's really expressing.
Yeah, probably not. How about you, Vi?
Not really.
Okay. Everybody. Okay, so it doesn't sound like we got that for you guys. Let's go to the next one. The next one is unique because it's per every book. You express a challenge with a technical expertise or mayhem. Irish, absolutely. So go ahead and mark that one in. Vi, you addressed a challenge with violence or threats. You busted the door open. That makes sense. Ash, you stressed a challenge with deception or negotiation.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if. Oh, that's right. You lied to the lady at the end.
I negotiated her as well, so it was a waste.
Okay, I was gonna give it to you. I was gonna give it to you that for you, or if you're trying to push drugs on your friends. So either way.
So what do we put it in? Just anything we want?
Yes. So right now you've got, I think, about 3 experience each. You can disseminate it however you want. You can.
I got 2.
You can absolutely just put it all into one. That's a possibility. Or you can put it into spread it out. It's up to you.
Yeah, put mine into prowess because both of the things that I got XP for was, related to me wrecking shit.
Sure. Now I forgot to do desperate action, risky action, and like controlled position type stuff. That was a mechanic that I forgot to play. So when it says when you roll a desperate action, so I'm just going to give that one to all of you because I think all of you did something desperate at some point. Now that is specifically in the attribute that you rolled. So Irish, yours was finesse, just driving away as fast as you can. So give yourself a point in prowess. You also took some desperate insight actions. So go ahead and also put one in insight, just an additional on top of what I've already given you guys.
All right.
Okay, outlaw. You really, let's see.
Prowess with either the flamethrower or the Molotov.
Yeah, I think both of those would be, yeah. So give yourself 1 in prowess. And Aya, let's see here. What are desperate actions? You know what? Hunt, specifically because you were desperately looking to find a place to enter into when you guys were on the black area and just like speeding across like that. So I think that would work out pretty well.
Cool.
Okay, and then on top of that, you guys just get an experience point to put wherever the heck you want just for completing and being alive at the end of the day.
I'm going for that playbook advancement. I want another skill.
Yeah, same. That's what I was thinking. That one is a good
Sure.
one to put in play.
Oh, I put all 3 in.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, once you've all done that, now go ahead to your tribe button on your character sheet because your tribe actually gains some stuff as well. All right? So did you execute a successful exploration, reclamation, rebuilding, or subjugation? Exploration, absolutely. So your tribe gets 1 point for that. Did you bolster your tribe's reputation? Yes, you actually called people to tell them where you were. And even though you did not give them your stuff, they knew you were there. So a couple things is you guys are going to get 2 rep just for completing the mission successfully. And you'll get an additional experience point for your tribe. So you're up to 2. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? Absolutely. There's a giant carnivorous worm, giant carnivorous plants. They're all trying to eat you and kill you. That's a third point. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflicts, or nature of the tribe? Your guys' reputation is strange, and you guys have an idea for collecting relics and the like. I'm going to say no on this one. I think you guys did a lot of stuff. Well, actually, no, because he specifically took the notes back. I'm going to say yes, because that's something where you were like, maybe we can replicate this. That would be really cool.
So is that 4 XP so far?
Yes. You guys chose implants as your special ability?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
dang.
realized that. What the
You
fuck are
guys, we need...
resistance rolls?
Resistance rolls are when I ask you to specifically roll insight, prowess, or so. Like when you guys did the roll in the car, each of you should have gotten an additional die.
Well, that could have ended differently.
That's true. Actually, Irish. Yeah. We'll remember that for the future.
Yeah.
Always a
Yeah, it's just the
helpful
first week.
thing. Yeah, just the first week.
There's a lot for us to try and sort of keep track of as well.
So-
So the rep thing, did you say we got 2 rep?
2 rep and 4 XP for the tribe?
Two rep and 4 XP. Your tier is currently 0. Your hold is strong. Now your supplies. How many supplies did you guys get from that? Well, good news is that you guys got a total of 3 supplies from that. However, one was essentially kind of given away. Or we'll say to your friend.
Yeah, between that and the tribe people like gorging themselves initially, I'd say that's down 1.
Yeah. So that brings you up to 4 total. But after a week goes by, that brings you also down to 3, which I'm just accounting for that for our downtime, just so I don't forget. So a net is a gain of 1. You're still kind of holding on, but you've been able to hold things off for another day.
So is the supplies, is that like 1 supply is a week's worth of supplies?
Yeah, 1 supply is about a week's worth of supplies, and it's very generic, so that include or vague intentionally. It's supposed to be a combination of food, gas, water, etc. So, what we'll say is, what we can say is maybe like that the Apostles of Rex who came and attacked you, that they probably didn't take your gas or water. They're just interested in taking food and slaves, possibly. So some of your people are also enslaved. Awesome. Now, your friction. You specifically didn't harm any particular faction. So as a result, your friction doesn't go up. So that is also a nice thing. Okay, cool. Now, as your tribe begins to advance, you guys will be able to unlock more upgrades, more special abilities, all of that type of stuff. Now, you can unlock upgrades not just through tribe advancement, but you can also unlock it through what's the word I'm looking through? You can also unlock it through long-term projects. So during downtime, you could essentially be like, so just let me give you a hypothetical. Irish, you could be like, all right, I'm going to be working on a device that's going to make our people smarter. I'm hoping to like boost their brain power. However you want to MacGyver that and figure that out is entirely up to you.
Or
But
maybe working on like the papers to do the farm.
Yes, that's a really, yeah. So it's like, I want to start a long-term project to really figure out what these papers do. And at the end of like you finishing that project, you will have the knowledge to be able to like build it. And so then another long-term project might be, okay, now we actually have to get the supplies to build it. And then the third long-term project might be, okay, now we're actually going to be building this. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do that, it's like, okay, you guys unlock farm for your tribe upgrade. And essentially what the farm does is gives you 1 supply every week, regardless of how many supplies you get while you're going out. So it offsets kind of the attrition that you're going through. Make sense?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. Or you could be like, Outlaw could be like, all right, I'm trying to grease palms, make some more contacts. I'm trying to hire people to work with us, right? And Ayana, you might be like, all right, I'm training to specifically get stronger so I could beat people up better. Awesome. We'll get into all that next week because that's a whole new thing. And I don't want to overwhelm you with so many rules at once. But you guys did great today. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very fun.
We got
Awesome.
tomatoes.
You got tomatoes. All right. Well, cool. So then if you guys are good, we can meet Monday and play again. You guys good for Monday?
I should be.
Yep, it should be.
All right. Awesome. Cool then. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you and everybody who joined in chat or was just lurking. Awesome. We're glad that you're here. And, hopefully I'll have a second monitor next week so I'm not juggling everything on one screen, which would be really nice. So you all out there say bye, and I'll let my friends say bye to you as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.